And that was James's intro for my YouTube videos. He's a great friend of mine. He was with me at Boston Village College. So, yeah, I asked him for assistance and he did. Anyway, this week, as you well record, I had 3 images to show you what they were for this week's. Now, I can't be bothered to add them into the YouTube video because it has taken me forever to just try to work out my webcam, which epically failed for us. So, I was going to put a little recording in, but I would like to just state this week is dragons. Dun dun dun. Not like all my 3 clues had dragons in their name, did it now? No, no, no. Anyway, I'll be looking at 5 experts of dragons. First one is elders. I'll be looking into 2 of the elders' dragons, and I'll explain maybe a bit more about them when we get to them. Second one is dragon primordials. Primevals. This is a cycle of dragon that is... what's the word I'm looking for? It's a cycle of legendary creatures. Let's just say there's cycle of legendary creatures that are named dragon primordials. There's 2 cycles. And there's even a second thing I'll be adding into that one, which I personally say should be in the cycles, but it doesn't say on the thing. Next one we'll be looking at is an old versus new subject. Now, this might appear in other cases in other YouTube videos, but at this time I do not want to ruin what that one is. The 4th one is stars. Yeah, stars. Doesn't that make sense? Or does it? Mohaha, trickery. And number 5, I'll be looking at the last random ones I still see getting played, but are just like, you don't fit in this object, you don't fit in this object, so you don't fit in this object, so what do you fit in? Tell me now. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this YouTube video. So let's get started. I'm going to look at elders first, because obviously that was the one I saw first. When googling some information about this, I'm just going to read you the first 2 sentences I saw about elder dragons from NTC Salvation Wiki. The elder dragons were an ancient dragons of Domania. Their vast power rivals that of a planeswalker. That pretty just states, we've got the same power as planeswalker, but we're too lazy to use it. I guess it made sense that Nicobolus just happens to become a planeswalker some other time. Which, we're not going to be talking about the planeswalker form of him. We're going to be talking about the original. The one I get seen as a commander every time I play, pretty much, because one of our mates online plays it very frequently. Being 2 colours, double blue, double black, and double red. 7/7 flying beta. That's not too bad. At the beginning of your upkeep, though, you have to pay blue, black, and red to keep him on the field. Fair enough. But his third ability is what used more. Whenever he deals damage to an opponent, that player discards their hand. Boom. No one has hands. You give him a ping effect, and you've got it. There, then. Boom, boom, boom. Just make them discard all their hands, and you get all the you keep all the advantage. Now, even though he is the best animal, I can't doubt it, I'm going to be talking about the second best in my eyes, which is Vasiana Asinmedia. Now, I had trouble saying about this purely because my computer refused to say it to me, my internet refused to say it to me, I couldn't find anyone who could say it to me, so I had to go with the best I had. He is the Jund one, which is double black, double red, and double green, and 2 colourless. With the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice him, unless you pay the black, red, green cost. And he has 7/7 flyer, but he has a black +1/+0 until the end turn, red +1/+0 until the end turn, and green +1/+0 until the end turn. Now, this actually doesn't really matter until you think Trickbind. Trickbind states whenever this counters an ability, that opponent cannot use that ability until the end of the turn. Meaning, you have a 3-way advantage. You can use different things, which actually is pretty cool. And because green has so much mana ramp and so much doubling mana, and hell, It even gives trample. This is not going to be a small beater. The red gives it haste, double strike, and nicks all their creatures so they don't have creatures to block you. And the black obviously has intimidate, more nicky stuff, a little bit of countery like the red and the green, and also removal because black is removal, right? But yeah, it's a shame I don't get to see any of these because he is like my second favourite after Nicobolas because obviously Nicobolas is the bomb. Next one I'd obviously be looking at is Primeval Dragons. Now I'm going to speak about the one that's separate compared to the others, and then I'll explain the reasoning why I state there is two cycles. It might be a bit more confusing than you think, but I like to state it to myself so I know. The one I'll be talking about, the one I say is sort of in the cycle, is Scion of the Urd Dragons. Is it or something like that? Anyway, he is a 5-mana dragon avatar. Avatar is the most commonest 5-colored legendary type you see. So, some random fact for you. It's a 4/4 beater with flying. That's fair enough. His second ability is where it gets obscene. 2 mana, you can do this anytime. Search your library for a dragon card and put it into your graveyard. If you do, this creature becomes a copy of it until the end of turn. Becomes a copy of that card until the end of turn. Obviously, you shuffle your library afterwards, but what I would like to state is, he is, in the Mimeoplasm case, he's the Shakashima the Imposter case. Scion, and I think that's it. And any tokens that copies legendary creatures. If it is still your commander, if Scion was used as your commander, means that all damage he deals is commander damage to anyone, even if it's nicked and given back. The thing, even though I shouldn't do this because it's something I don't really want to do in this video, but I'm going to do anyway. The card that goes good with this is Dragon Tyrant. He is a 6/6 flying trampler double striker. That's big enough as it is. That's 12 damage. He's 10 mana. So 12 damage, 10 mana is not too bad, but 2 mana if you turn 6, Scion, boom. At the beginning of your upkeep, you must sacrifice him unless you pay red. And he also has a pump. He gains +1/+0 until the end of turn with red. Now, think about this. He's 12 by himself then and there. 12, and all you need is 5 red mana. And then you can go, boom. I've just hit you for 22 general damage in 1 strike. Ding ding! Yeah, that's it. He's a beater that goes, I can hit you for 1 turn and then fail the rest, to my personal opinion. Now, what I say by there is 2 cycles. The first cycle, which will be the newer one that I'm going to look into, is the one that are enemy coloured. Now, enemy colours are fair enough. However, the ones I'm going to look at is Intet the Dreamer. The first one I'm going to look at. This one allows you to cast things from the top of your library without paying their mana cost. This is very good. Especially when your most expensive blue spell could be Omniscience. I don't mind spending 3 mana to put on Omniscience in my exile zone and then cast it. Green has a lot of big pumpers, and red does. And it could even hide counter spells that you don't want your opponents to see, if worse comes to shove. The other ones I'm going to look at is Numont. Numont is... sorry, I have an allergic reaction with dicks that run this card. Now, he says, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and red to destroy up to 2 target lands. Could be any lands. By the way, Intet must be also spent blue and 2, and they also must deal combat damage this cycle. Also, maybe the reason why Scion isn't in the collection. Now, like I said, dick! Let's skip past that one. And the last one I'm going to look at is Teneb. Now, ironically, I actually only see these 3 dragons, and one other which comes a little bit later on, as used as commanders in this group. The Harvester allows you to pretty much reanimate one creature from your graveyard for 2 and black. In the white, green, red section, that's not too bad. By the way, Numont, because I didn't mention it, is red, white, and blue. And Intet, it's just blue, red, green. So as long as pretty much a green symbol or a blue symbol is in the casting cost of the card, it's a pretty good dragon, apparently. One I didn't see, which is a slight shame, is Dumaya. Now, this is one of the original ones. So, obviously, original is the first cycle that began. In the past, I think it was from Planar Shift or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Evasion. But this one is, whenever it does combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and blue. If you do, choose a colour, return all creatures with that colour to the owner's hand. Now, the problem with this one is, he's a double-edged sword. He can accidentally use his ability to return himself to his hand. This is why I should return all other creatures of the chosen colour to the owner's hand. So, but to me, it's fun more because not fun. It's not supposed to be a commander. It's supposed to be a wrath for them tokens continuous. All them plant tokens gone, gone next, gone next, gone next. As long as you're getting through, you're okay. The other one I am going to say to a personal mate of mine called Lily. She is a great friend of mine. She runs Rift the Awakener. Now this is only her I see play this commander. Using his ability is 2 and green. If you do, you put 1/1 green saplings on the battlefield for each permanent in play that is a chosen colour of your choice. Doubling season, anyone? Anyone? Okay, what about... There's other things. There's too many things to mention. But like I said, it is nice. I love the artwork from the Vault's dragons. In fact, as you can see, anything that is an up-to-date art, I'm going to try a hit now from now on. But yeah, personally to me, the cycle is good. Just needed people to hint. And I'm hinting. I'm going to make ya. Oh yeah. One we're going to be looking at is my special personal bit, old versus new. Now this is only whatever happened to planeswalkers and legendary creatures, where 2 of the cards that won't legendary are exactly the same thing, but are different cards as a whole. We had a return of Rakdos. We had a return of the Azorius Guildmate leader. We had a return of Gideon. Personal opinion, I like him. And also we had a return of Jace. Missing one? No, because that's the one I'm going to be talking about now. Niv. Niv has had a replacement. Let's look at his old one first. The Firemind, when his original original flavor text was on there, I loved it. I had someone explain it to me, but still, I couldn't be bothered to put it up on the screen because, like I said, I'm getting the most foil one out there. Next one. Not next one. Talking to still at him. He's a 6-mana dork, 4/4 flying with tap, draw a card. That is meaning he's going to replace himself with your deck at least. Whenever you draw a card, he pings something for 1 damage to a creature or player. That's why he's such a combo piece. He's more of a combo. Now, before I carry on talking about combos against him, let's look at the second one. Second one is Draco Genius. Oh yes, all these bad puns Niv has. Ha ha ha. He's flying. When he deals damage to a player, does not say combat damage, you may draw a card. And he also has the ability blue and red. Deal 1 damage to a creature or player. I don't mind paying blue and red to draw a card. He's 6 mana like his original, but he's also bigger. He's a 5/5 instead of his original 4/4. But that's not why people don't like him. He's not a combo piece. Which, technically, when I will explain after a quick video, explain something else. Now we're going to start with the Firemind, the old one. So let's search. There's a grand total of 17 matches. Now, some of these most probably can't be done in EDH with using him as a commander, but this one could. Don't know why you would, but this one could. They can choose where the damage is going, so that's a bit silly. But the obvious one should be somewhere. Oh, of course it's good. This one's not too bad. It's quite funny. There's it. But I think it's going to be on the same page because obviously we all know it's a really old classic combo. Here we go. No, that's not. Take me there, please. There we go. The simple, the obvious, curious, and himself. Or apparently people use this one with it, which actually works too. So, 3 for you that are actually used in his EDH. So, yeah, pretty good combos. Now, let's go back and back, and let's search the other one. There he is. Dragogenius. Search. It looks like there is no combos for him on this site. And personally, I've looked into him, and I could not see a combo in the whole entire world with him. Now, looking at that bit of clip I made like a week or so ago, and looking at him now, he's been printed numerous times. I think it's 4. He is more of a wing com, and he has so many infinite loops with him that I'm not afraid of him. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not afraid of this 4/4 dork. And this is why I fear we should change to the other one, Dragogenius, because he is unknown. He is harder to get your hands on. He is stronger than it. It is less of a combo, meaning there's less of a fear for people to try to do things against you. Meaning your commander sort of gets under the radar because of his other commander, so much more able to get, so cheaper, sort of, and also is bigger power, is so much of a combo piece. So, to my personal opinion, I'd rather run Dragogenius over him. But saying that, I'm letting you guys choose. I'm really not a big fan of red-blue. The 5th section, as I named it, is stars. Now, that's a bit strange, just the word stars in it. However, did you notice I put 2 little stars that we have on our keyboard on it? Yeah, the reason why is because this cycle isn't just got star, but it is also dragon spirits. It is a cycle of dragon spirits that was printed in, I think, Kamigawa? Can't remember which Kamigawa, but I know it's Kamigawa because it's from the gate. Now, it's a cycle of dragons that are all legendary creatures with dying effects when they die, right? And in fact, one is banned as a commander, I think it is still. Kukushio. Now, Kukushio is a 6 mana, 5/5 flyer. Double black and forward. That is okay for a 6 mana dog. But his dying ability is when he dies, each opponent loses 5 life, and you gain life equal to life lost this way. Now, that's brilliant. I love that idea. Next one I'll be looking at is Yoshi. Now, Yoshi is the same thing as the black one, except it's double white and 4, not double black. 5/5 flyer with a die ability. His die ability is target player skips their next untap step. Yeah, White did like things to not untap during your opponent's turn in the olden days. Still does a bit now, but not as strong as Yoshi. Tap up to 5 target permanents that play controls. That's its next bit. Straight after that ability is triggered. That is awesome. I don't mind tapping down all your big blockers for 2 turns at least. I don't mind that at all. It is very strong, very nice, very, let's just say, primitive. Put it on a minute that and you're pretty much won. The last one I'll be looking at is Kagar. Now, Kagar is one of the two that is splashable. The other splashable one is the red one. Just to note, the red one deals 3 damage to each creature without flying. Deals 5 damage to each creature without flying. That's okay, I guess. Didn't want to show it on here because it's like not great to my eyes. The green one's the only one that is very impossible to splash because it's green, 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 and free. When it dies, it puts 5+1/+1 counters on amongst creatures you control. So you can put you can put 1+1/+1 counter on 5 creatures, or 5 creatures on 1. 5+1/+1 counters on 1 creature. That's also not great because it would be on my list if it was an A triple green, and B if we didn't just get I think it is the one that has 4 mana, put 5+1/+1 counters on target creature, and then 10 when you flashback it. 15+1/+1 counters for something pretty much better, to my personal opinion. The blue one though is just a mind control forever. When it dies, you gain control of target creature. This is very strong, very nice, very cool. I like it. Not the greatest, but like I said, all these creatures have at least one thing in common. They all love Mimivat. Last ones I'll be looking at are the random ones that I just didn't fit in any category because they are all on their own. This is... Now, land destruction to me is personally a dick. If it's mass. There is some that I let slide, but not all of them. But there is something I see a little bit more dickish in EDH than land destruction. And if you don't see it as a dickish, you must be one that runs it. I'm talking about Infect. The first one I'll be looking at is Skitterus. Ooh, the legendary dragon. The only legendary infector in the game. Thank Christ. It is a 5 mana dork with flying, infect, can gain haste for 1 simple black mana, and has regenerate on a 4/4 body. What were you thinking, wizards? Seriously, what were you thinking? Sure, there's like Blightsteel Colossus now, right? But Blightsteel Colossus, we can get rid of it forever. We can exile it. We can remove it from the game. Skitterus, best we can do is put it in the bottom of the library. And they're mono black. They must have tutor on tutor on tutor on tutor. Meaning putting it on the bottom of the library, they don't give 2 monkeys. They just tutor it and then cast it. And all this bad black mana. And there's so many black pump spells, like in equipment form and stuff like that. You are crazy, wizards. But I must admit, it was when EDH was starting, so I guess I understand it. The next one I'll be looking at, when my computer lets me open it, is Carthus. He is the Tyrant of Jund. If you don't run Scion as your 5-coloured commander, this is what I see is next. Sorry, my asthma. It's a 7 mana dork for 7/7 flying haste. That's brilliant. Stop right there. That's brilliant. But they didn't. When he enters the battlefield, you gain control of all dragons, and you untap all dragons. Meaning, if you can make them have dragons themselves, or have dragons with tap abilities to cast Carthus, they were all on tap. Other dragons you control, they gain haste from this card. Sorry, haste. Meaning on the turn I'm attacking, turn I cast him, every creature I own, most probably will be able to attack. Do I just hear a winner? Anyone? Winner? Yeah, he's very strong. Sad I don't see him as much as Scion. And if you think 3 colour and 5 colours are just so lame, well then I've got a 2-coloured mana plane, a legendary creature that is suitable for dragons. Bladewing the Risen. He is 7 mana. 7 mana, 4/4 flyer. Brilliant. With red and black. Dragon creatures gain +1/+1 until the end of turn. This counts your opponents, but doesn't really matter. Gain dragons. Sweet. No ability. When he enters the battlefield, you may target a dragon permanent, everyone, so you can't return instants and sorcery dragons from your graveyard, but you can return enchantments if there's ever a tribal dragon, or anything like that. from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very nice, very strong. It's a reanimator, a dragon reanimated card. It's nice. Putting it with like Skidrus is awesome because of pump. But yeah, I don't like the infect. Thanks everyone for listening to my to Dragon's YouTube video. Next week I'm not going to tell you because there's already been hints. Hint, hint. Like I said, still thanks to my mate James to making that entrance for me. Thanks to Lily for letting me say about her commander. Thanks for my computer still working after all this time. Thank you guys for listening, in fact, because literally I'd be talking to myself if you guys wasn't listening. I do reply to your comments on the bottom. Please join my Facebook page. It's in the description. A petition is still in my description for Cockatrice. There's a lot of things in my description, like links for you to link with other things. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.